Okay, so I'm driving around to Unicoi Gap here in North Georgia, and I just dropped the others off at Hogpen Gap, and we were here. We did the section to the south of this a few days ago, so now we're getting back to more. This is Testicity Gap, or I don't know, Testicle Gap or something. This is where the Trail Magic was a few days ago. Ooh, they have Trail Magic again today. So anyway, here I am driving away. I was threatening that I should just sit in my car and wait for them to show up. But at any rate, today we're gonna be backpacking. We're gonna forgo actual slack packing per se, so we're prepared to spend the night out. I'll be hiking south and eventually run into those guys, and we'll decide whether it's a good night to set up camp there and continue tomorrow, or if we can do the whole 14 miles in one day. We're all kind of sore and feeling beaten up, so we'll see. Here we go. Hey, March 12th. Setting off from Unicoi Gap southbound, 14 and a half, I think, mile stretch. Almost my last one. So, what was I saying before? I almost got run over. Oh yeah, got the backpack on. I very well might be spending the night out in the woods tonight. Because just a little bit longer than what we've been doing. Anyhow, see how it goes. Bye-bye, Unicoi. We'll probably be back this way sooner or later. So, out of Unicoi Gap, I got quite a pull upwards. Probably the biggest one of the day. And, of course, right away I hit the Stairmaster. Talk to you soon. You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in the springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. Okay, how do I hike? About 2.5 miles, I think 1.7 to the top of the big hill. And then now I've been ridge running. I think I'm going to ridge run for quite some time. There's actually a shelter, but I think it's a little bit off the trail, so this has been my custom. I'm not going to go down there. You'll have to wait to see one right on the trail. I guess a little mountain shelter, which isn't one that's very heavily used. There's one we saw yesterday, but it's the only one that I know that's completely stone like that. At any rate, it is a beautiful day. Probably 60-ish, although this morning, of course, it was quite a bit colder. So, anyway, top more day. Well, this is Blue Mountain Shelter. I don't know how many it sleeps, but a few. And there's all sorts of people camped out. I guess we have cell phone reception here. People are chatting away. You can see in there. At any rate, I have to get going. No rest for the weary. That was a couple 100-yard hike off the trail. My first time going down to a shoulder, but this one wasn't too far, so I could see it. Here's some people with some deerskin tents like mine. Dirty girl gators. See you again. I'm slack packing the trail, so.
I don't blame you.
Platinum blazing?
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I think we've talked before.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Oops, I left the trail right here. I can't go that way. I have to go. Okay. Okay, back on the AT, southbound. Oh, this is day number 6. It's kind of good, but that wasn't too good. But I'm seeing some of the people that I left Springer with. Darn, I should have taken a picture of Jason when I saw him. At any rate, he said he's having knee problems and was going to get off the trail for a day, so hopefully that will clear up for him. Knee problems are really a pain on this rocky up and down trail. So I was having some a couple days ago, and I guess we took it's called a knee row. A knee row is a near zero, and a zero is a day that you just don't hike at all. So I can't remember. We were all kind of sore. I certainly had knee pain, and it was pouring down raining. So we hiked a short 2.7 mile section just north of where I started. So, of course, today, for this extra long hike of 14 miles, and having the backpack is possible, knee pain will come back for a visit. But I'm not claiming it. So, we'll see. Okay, see if there's here. You can see the mountains. Right now I'm more interested in making time than figuring out what mountains are which. Oh, by the way, so far I've seen 17 people hiking and I think 6 people at the shelter. Anyhow, I'll check in later. Well, kind of a pretty area. I just love these rhododendron and mountain laurel thickets along the trail. This is one of the this is the first one I think I've seen today. In fact, I just came through a really rocky section, and that was some of the worst trail I've seen in Georgia. So I hear there's some really rooty sections. There's lots of roots. Maybe this is it. I don't know. I don't think so. Up ahead, and then there's like some easy railroad grade or something. I've seen a couple friends that I run into every day. I saw a lady whose trail name is now Young Forest. I said, "Are you sure it's not old growth?" She said, she assured me it wasn't. Her name is Sarah. And I saw Jason, who I took a picture with my first day. I think I already said that. Sorry, at Springer Mountain. He's getting off the trail. At any rate,
for a day. Looks like a camping place. Wonder what the blue blazes are. Anyway, who cares? I'm going this way. So, as Dixie says on YouTube, I'm hacking. I'll just keep hacking all day. Maybe part of the night too. That's what I can convince the others to do. If they'll keep hacking to Unicoi Gap, then we can knock out this 14 miles and move on to bigger and better things. Till then, see you later. Whew. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. It gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. At any rate, here I am at Cloudchaser Gap. That's looking north. There's a side trail I had thought about accessing here to cut this up into a half day. Nice view of the mountains, and then that's the way I'm going. It's a good thing I'm not a bear.
I was just about to check my Corbin and see if you had finished the message. I asked you how you were.
So the trail here after lunch has hit an old railroad grade. Quite an interesting little bit of stonework down there. It's a shame that in the afternoon I'm always hiking into the sun and get lens flare. Hope that doesn't fall while I go under it. Phew, made it. At any rate, this old railroad grade is going to make for some good hacking. The railroad grade continues through the rhododendron tunnel. Oh my God, there's giant chickens here. Watch out for the giant chickens. How's it going? Nice rest stop here. Boy, if I pull these straps here, the pack will feel lighter. I haven't thought about that yet. So this is my 6 o'clock rest stop. My second one all day. For our first 14-mile plus day. I think it's 14 and a half. But the signs and the guide notes all say different things depending upon if there's been relocations or maybe who measured it. Well, day's been going good. Got 11 miles under my belt now. Maybe 11 and a half, depending on how you look at it. I'm going down this. I have 3 miles to go before Hogpen Gap. For the last 2 hours before I took my rest break, I was averaging 2.3 miles an hour. And now I've been walking faster than that. But when you stop and talk for a few seconds to persons that come up the trail, it can slow you down. So, kind of hoping that I'll get to Hogpen Gap in maybe an hour and 10 or something like that. Could even make it an hour, really. 3 miles an hour isn't that fast. Getting some sore lower back pain and just a tad bit of knee pain. But, you know, what can you expect on a 14-mile day? Really, it's our first long day. So, at any rate, there's a blaze coming up. Should we salute? Okay, I'll check in with you in a bit. Well, it's getting dark. Last I checked, I have 7/10 of a mile left to go before I get to Hogpen Gap. Whew, I might have to put on my headlamp for the last little bit. Reminds me the first time I was on the Appalachian Trail. I was 4 years old, and my dad took me to Shenandoah National Park, and he really wanted to see what an Appalachian Trail shelter looked like. So we were camped at Big Meadows Campground, and we got on the trail, and we were going to hike to the old Lewis Spring shelter just south of Big Meadows. It's no longer there. At any rate, while we were hiking it, started to get dark, just like now, and I was scared to death. My dad was just going super fast down the trail with his big strides, and I could barely keep up with him. But somehow or another, we made it back to camp, and all was fine. And I'll make it to Hogpen Gap tonight too, if I have to, with the headlamp. Well, I didn't have to use my headlight. I guess you can't see. It looks like it's not going to pick anything up. However, I made it to Hogpen Gap with the last throes of light, not using my headlamp at all. There's the moon coming up. Now we get to wait from my ride to pick me up for the others, Cindy and Diane.